think I've cried this much since Eljo announced that he was leaving Teen Top. That's how much I've cried right now. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Robin, coming at you heated as fuck right now. And I'm gonna be talking about Produce 101 because I'm very frustrated. I'm heated, pissed, and just I have a lot of things on the mind that need to be said because I need to rant. So, shockingly enough, I actually kept up with Produce 101. Why, you must ask? Because my son, KIMSAMUEL, was a part of Produce 101. You know, hello son, how you doing? I have been with Samuel, or I have stayed updated with what Samuel has been doing ever since he was a trainee with 17. Yeah. For about 5 years, you know. Samuel. So, you know, I've loved that child. And I've always called him my son. Yeah. When I was freaking 13, I called him my son. Whatever. It's not weird. Whatever. But it was even a freaking cherry on top when I found out that NUEST was a part of it. So I was mostly watching it for Samuel and NUEST. But the more I watched it, the more trainees I actually started to enjoy liking, such as Takara Kenta, Im Young-min, Bae Jin-young, who else did I really like? God, I forgot names because I'm frustrated. Kang Daniel a little bit, Park Ji-hoon a little bit, Lee Dae-hui a little bit, you know. I started watching and started, you know, liking more trainees. But NUEST and Samuel have always been there, you know. I go to them! So, yeah. And today was the day that it was the final finale. And it was releasing the top 11s to join the group that would debut. The name though, really, 101? Let's try saying that 5 times fast. Samuel has always been around the top, within the top 20. But every now and then he'd be in the top 10, you know. Go Samuel. Whereas with NUEST members, they'd fluctuate, you know. So would Samuel occasionally, but they would fluctuate constantly. And you know, I had hoped that at least Jonghyun, Minhyun, and Samuel would end up debuting. Well, one of them did. Hwang Minhyun from NUEST ended up debuting. Hwang Minhyun is actually my bias from NUEST, and I've loved NUEST ever since they debuted. And I loved Minhyun. So, yeah. Jonghyun has always been my second bias in NUEST. And then there's Samuel. And Samuel has always been my son. I've known him since he was a trainee with 17. So, let's just say Samuel didn't make it and neither did Jonghyun. And I was really pissed off. Now, I'm not hating on anyone who actually did make the top 11 and is going to be debuting with 101. I am not hating on them. They worked their butts off and I've seen them progress. And I'm very happy for them. Do I think that some of them should not be on there? I'm not gonna lie, yes, I feel like some trainees should not be in 101. I'm not gonna name who because that's just evil. But yes, I feel like some trainees do not deserve to be in 101 or did not earn or did not work their butts off as much to be in 101. Now, my issue is Produce 101 completely fucked over Jonghyun and Samuel. Moral of the story. Fuck them over. Played them like a violin. Actually, let's rephrase that. They played NUEST and Samuel like an orchestra. Literally. And I don't like that. What I was hoping would happen is all of NUEST would make it, and Samuel. And hopefully Kenta, because Kenta. Ricky fanboy. But I should have known the moment Kenta got knocked out and eliminated, I should have known something was up. Because there's no way Kenta would have gotten knocked out that fast, in my opinion. And I should have known the moment they started announcing some of the names that something was up. And I hate myself for not thinking about that until now. But yeah, most of the story, Jonghyun and Samuel did not make the group. Am I frustrated? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me just say this. First of all, imagine how different it would have been if there was international voting. If there was international voting, I feel like NUEST and Samuel would have been in the top 5. Within the top 5. Most definitely. Because NU'EST has a huge international fan base, and so does Samuel. Second being, imagine how much shit both Samuel and NU'EST have gone through. NU'EST hasn't had a comeback in like over 3 years, I believe. I don't even remember their latest comeback because it was so long ago. I think it was Overcome, if I'm not mistaken. Planet's practically just abandoned NU'EST. And I remember whenever they first came on to Produce 101, Kang Dong-ho said that he wanted to be like 17. I don't think you guys realize how much I cried when I saw that episode. When Dong-ho said that he wanted to be like 17 and be popular at 17. And that he doesn't know what Place is going to do with him after this. You don't know how heartbroken I was. Samuel, on the other hand, Samuel's also been through so much shit. He was a trainee with 17. He was supposed to debut with 17. But couldn't because of personal reasons and because he was too young. So he moved entertainments. He moved companies. Went to Brave Entertainment. He debuted in a duo called One Punch. He was Punch. I think that lasted about 3 months, and then they disbanded because one ended up going to YG. So Samuel's just been kind of stuck. Samuel hasn't done anything since. He's just been working his butt off. So obviously, as a Samuel fan, I was cheering for that boy. Third being, think about the views for a minute. Think about how they got those views. Because I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for Samuel and NU'EST being on Produce 101, they wouldn't have gotten the views that they got. Yeah, think about that for a minute. Hits you hard, doesn't it? If it wasn't for NU'EST and Samuel, they probably wouldn't have gotten the views that they got. Because I know a lot of my friends, like my friends are Kang Dang-il, Bae Jin-young, Im Young-min, like a huge range of biases. But they found Produce 101, or they started watching Produce 101, not just because of last year, but because of Samuel and NU'EST. The thing that just makes me the most angry is how much they've gone through to get to the final and all of them getting fucked over. Except for Minhyun. Minhyun actually made it. 101, yeah, you want one member of NU'EST, and you don't want freaking Samuel. Okay. The thing I don't understand is that Samuel ended up getting an A. The A team. Stayed there. And didn't end up being in top 11. Jonghyun kept going up to first and didn't end up being in the group. There's a part of me that's just like, imagine how different it would have been if it was international voting. Because it would have been so different with international voting. Different. A lot of my friends are saying Korea hates Samuel. I'm starting to think it too. How does he go from 5 to 18? 5 to 18. He was number 2 at the beginning. Number 2. He went down to 16. Then went back up to number 5. And then went down to 18. How? And then there's Jonghyun, who's been all over the place, but eventually was at 1 and then ended up going down to 14. How? I really want to fly to South Korea, build my own company, and take the 9 members that ended up not making 101, because who needs 101, more like Wanna Die. I want to take them and have them debut. Because they all worked their butts off and they all got fucked over. It's like not even Im Young-min and Han-yeon made it. That's what had me triggered. It's not even Im Young-min or Han-yeon made it. And I follow a lot of people that love those two. And I'm just like, there's something up. I'm frustrated with it. Honestly, I'm frustrated with it. What I find really funny though is that I found out that S-Coops was there. He popped up on the screen a few times and I was like, oh my god, look at S-Coops. There's a part of me that really wants S-Coops to go there and pick up Samuel and bring him back to 17. So 17 will be a 14-member group. Because Samuel has just been through so much shit and I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. Moral to the story, I just really want Pilates to finally pay attention to NU'EST. Yes, don't get me wrong, I love 17 to death, but NU'EST was there first. They need to pay attention on NU'EST. They need to pay attention on NU'EST. And then with Brave Music, Brave Entertainment, give Samuel a solo debut. He deserved it. Most definitely. With what he had to go through with Produce 101, with One Punch, with 17, Samuel deserves that solo debut. He deserves it. As with the other trainees, with how much crap they also had to go through, they also need a debut. Not ASAP, but hopefully within the next year. And I will be looking forward to seeing Im Young-min and Hatmyeon and Samuel and newest names all over the place. Because they all deserve it. They all deserve it. All 9 of those boys deserve it. Not saying that the 11 that made 101 don't deserve it. I just feel like something was up. And some of those boys shouldn't be where they are. They didn't work as hard, in my opinion. Maybe they did behind the scenes, but I feel like Samuel, Kang Dong-ho, Chen Min-ki, and Kim Jonghyun, and Im Young-min, and Hatmyeon all deserve to be on 101. But if I had to pick 2, Jonghyun and Samuel. Samuel, as you would say in Korean, Samuel. And I will never forget the face that Samuel made when he wasn't even up for top 11. Because they did 1 through 14. Or 11 through 14. And was like, these are the ones either for up for 11th or 14th. And I will never forget Samuel's face whenever he saw that he wasn't up for 11th. And I'll never forget his mom's face. Because she was crushed. And I was crushed. Because I feel like I'm his mom, even though he doesn't know I exist. But I felt crushed. You know? Watching him grow up from... How old was he whenever he first started joining 17? Like 10? Seeing him grow up is just... wow. And seeing him go through so much, and seeing that it practically doesn't matter, frustrates me. Along with NUEST. Not just about Samuel here, it's also about NUEST. They were both wronged, and I feel bad for them. One of these days, I'm gonna go to Korea, I'm gonna make my own company. I'm gonna have them debut under my company because they deserve it. But yeah, I'm frustrated. A lot of my friends asked me if I'm going to end up standing 101 because Bae-jin-young and Min-hyun are in it. And I said, I'll watch them. Don't count on me standing on them though. They say why? I'm like, I just don't feel like I could get into them now. Even though Bae-jin-young and Hwang Min-hyun are in it, that's not enough to get me into them. I wanted one more newest member in there. Or Samuel. It's just interesting because they don't have a leader now. If you think about it, because Jonghyun was such a leader. And you can't really call them global anymore because they're not really that global. They only have Kwalin. Samuel was there for whenever they're... because he's practically a Mukugin. He's practically an American. So it's like, you don't have him either. So they're not really global. They're not really... they weren't global after they freaking knocked out Kenta. What am I saying? They weren't global ever since they knocked out Kenta. What am I talking about? That's all I gotta say. Is how I'm really mad because not just my bias out of Produce 101, I guess you would say, did make it, but because of how fucked up it was and how screwed over NUEST and Samuel got. Like how screwed over they got. They got hella screwed over and it pisses me off. That's pretty much it. I'm actually really shocked that I didn't cry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have anything else to add, put it down in the comments below. I will be replying to all of the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Be sure to like and subscribe, become my #1 today. Be sure to follow me on social media, and I'll see you all in the next video. 안녕. 김사뮤 화이팅! 사랑해요. 사랑해요, 동생아. Because I can call you 동생. You're younger than me.